you move to the side, please?
So...
Move to the side.
No! Hi, hello.
Ciao. Bonjour. Hola.
Cow? You said cow. Okay, so now if you're wondering why there's only one of us in the frame at a time, it's because somebody makes the screen look so damn dark.
What's going on, guys? Here we come with another video. This time we're doing it for my international students or people that are going abroad for their study abroad.
No, really?
So I personally studied in the University of Hertfordshire and I did 1 year abroad in Italy, especially Milan. Yeah, that's where I created the most amazing and abundance of memories, and I want you guys to have those too. Now, I do remember a couple of things that I wished I knew before I went abroad, which would have made the whole experience even better than it was, and I want to share that with you so that, you know, you make the most of that time. With no further ado, let's go. Now, first thing, it goes without saying, your accommodation. Make sure you sort out your accommodation before you actually go to your destined university. I remember that while I was there was a guy that came to the university, didn't book anything, didn't sort out anything, and he was actually staying at a hotel and was literally just throwing money out the window. Now, if you've done it and you actually sort it out, it's to you, because obviously that's just the natural thing to do, I guess. But there's some people, you know. Now, for those that come into this country, make sure you check out our home versus off campus video, so you know the sort of benefits and disadvantages of staying off and on campus. And yeah, plug right there. You know what I'm saying? No? Okay.
Now, I definitely agree on what he said about accommodation. Make sure you get that sorted out first, so you're not stranded with a whole load of bags, especially ones full of shoes like certain people. Now, moving on, so another little tip from us is using Facebook groups to get a little bit more information on things that are maybe related to you, and also to meet people that are also going on study abroad year. Now, Erasmus Facebook page is obviously a good place to start because that is kind of the official page for people that are studying abroad. For those of you that are coming to our university, the University of Hertfordshire, maybe check out our Hertfordshire Student Union page and our official freshers page before you attend, so that you know what kind of activities are going on and what kind of events we have to offer you guys. And for those of you that are going abroad, it might be a good idea to look a bit closer to home at your university and see if there are any people on your course or anybody that you're, you know, a bit friendly with that is going abroad as well, because it might be nice to have a friend or two when you are going abroad to a completely different country.
In terms of money, as you may know, the exchange rate from pounds to euros is really bad, and that's why I actually want to recommend you services that I use that gives me best exchange rate in the high street, and that is this website called Best Foreign Exchange. Now, no, we're not sponsored by them in any way. It's just a service that I've been using for the past 4 or 5 years, I think. Yeah, it's called Best Foreign Exchange. They have an actual shop, but the way it works, you go online, you check the exchange rate, and then you book how many pounds you want to exchange, and then obviously you choose what facility you want to go to. They got one in Victoria, they got one in Hammersmith. Now, if you come from other places that use a different currency, make sure that you check a couple of places. Don't just go for one, don't just go for the first one. Make sure you compare. You will never get the actual exchange rate because obviously people need to make money. Avoid airports. Airports will rip you off. Apart from Marrakesh, Marrakesh actually was pretty good. They gave me actually even more than what the actual exchange rate was. Avoid offices that are based in like touristic areas. Definitely avoid those because the exchange rates are extortion. Like, it's a no-no. And also, most important thing for me, that was sort out your Erasmus grant. Now, some people sort of leave it off to the end, but trust me, that saves you a lot. Especially, well, at my time they used to give it to me in pounds, so it used to be quite a lot when they came to exchange it. But yeah, definitely sort out your Erasmus grant. It sometimes comes really late.
Money, money, money. Now, there is something that all of us have in common, and that is overpacking. We tend to overthink about what we need to take with us, which leads us to panicking, which then leads us to thinking that we need to bring our whole wardrobe just for one day. It's ridiculous. So it's best to really think about what you need to take beforehand, like make a list, because honestly it will save you from taking your entire house with you abroad. So in terms of clothing, you need to remember that you're only going to be going for semester 8. You'll probably come back for the Christmas holidays. Weather-wise, that's literally end of summer to winter. Now if you're going around Europe, it probably is not going to be as cold as it is in London anyways. You know, bring a couple of t-shirts, a pair of jeans and a couple of jackets if you're someone like George over here. But for the majority of us ladies and some men out there, it's not always as easy to just bring one pair of jeans and a couple of t-shirts. Try to minimize the amount of clothes that you're going to be bringing on your trip, and if worst comes to the worst, you can buy clothes there. It's not like you can't. You would do that if you're in this country, and you could do the same thing in another country. Don't bring too much stuff. That was so awkward. He cut that bit out.
Now in terms of traveling, I already spoken about where you can get your cheapest flight, so it goes without saying, make sure you go and check the different prices that are out there. Don't go with the first one. Make sure as soon as you get your confirmation letter that you book your ticket, because that will go up. Now make sure you're aware of what sort of luggages you can bring and what's the permitted weight. Now before you go, make sure you know how to get from the airport or from the station that you're arriving at to the university. Yeah, when I went to Italy, Milan, I had no clue. I literally just asked people and it was so hard. I thought I got lost, to be honest, because I ended up in like a deserted sort of city, but it was the water, so good times. And yeah, definitely make out the most of your year abroad. Make sure you travel because you're inside Europe, depending on where you're going. Coaches are readily available and coaches are really cheap, so you can go from city to city and literally backpack all around Europe.
Now earlier I mentioned about Facebook groups and things where, you know, you can talk to previous students on there who are, you know, happy to give advice. But in terms of appliances such as pots and pans and things like that, most previous students will not bring that back with them simply because they don't fit in their luggage. It's too much weight to bring it back. So the majority of them do end up leaving in their accommodation. If you want, you can always give some previous students a message if you're going to the same destination as them, and perhaps ask them if they don't mind you borrowing the stuff that they've left behind, or if they're willing to leave the stuff behind, because that way you don't have to buy the things and you can leave them behind as well for the next year, so you don't have to carry that way either. Now there are a couple of little things that people tend to forget, especially when they're moving abroad, simply because it's such a stressful time and you don't always remember the little things, such as adapters for your chargers and your laptops. You know, you have to remember, not every country has the same power socket thing, I don't know what they're called, thing. So yeah, so make sure that you do get an adapter before you go. You can get them off Amazon or from any store really. They're quite widely available. And also things such as your medication, you really don't want to be forgetting that if you're on, you know, a certain type of medication all the time. But even little things like painkillers, because when you've gone abroad and you don't know the language, it can be quite difficult to get medication over the counter, or just going in a shop, you might not be able to read the language, for example, so it can be quite difficult. And also sometimes the medication might not be the specific brand that you want or the one that works for you, so medication is definitely an important thing that you do need to pack. Make sure that you have as much as you'll need for that semester, just in case it's not something that's widely available in the country that you're going to. Yeah.
But that looks so small. Now that's all from us, guys. This is all for this video. We'll be making more videos and more in depth.
Yeah, if you have any specific questions or any question, just leave them in the comments down below and we'll be happy to answer.
Now if you feel our content, make sure you comment, like and subscribe, and make sure you share it with your friends. And that's all from us.
Bye.
Peace.
What's going on, guys? So today, I'm directing this today. Yeah, on campus.